Words do matter. And quite frankly, I think the jury is fed up with this witness. Day 13 of Karen Read's trial wrapped up on Friday, and this concludes week 3. And here's what happened. Hi, I'm Sydney Rushing. I'm a criminal defense attorney in the state of Michigan. Now let's talk about it. The day started off and concluded with witness number 24, Bukhenik's cross-examination continuing from Thursday. Jackson started asking him questions about the size of the area that he did his search in, and Bukhenik kind of shot back at one point that he wasn't going to argue semantics, and Jackson said words do matter. And that's because they do, especially in criminal law and in criminal cases like this. Words really do make a big difference. Bukhenik at one point also asked Jackson to pull out the Webster Dictionary to define the word theory. He's obviously used the word theory multiple times in his testimony, and when Jackson asked him on it, he came back with this snarky comment. And I just don't think that this is going well in the jury's eyes. In regards to the evidence collection and the evidence collection bags, he stated that he did collect the evidence. However, he did not write the note on the evidence collection bag, and he doesn't recognize the handwriting. He testified that it did in fact take over a month for evidence to be booked. He did say that it was with them at the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. However, it did not get booked until March 14th when it was taken in on February 10th. He was asked a lot of questions regarding the taillight pieces that he missed. He did a search on February 10th of the area, and then Proctor did a search on February 11th. And on February 11th, Proctor found pieces of taillight that were almost 6 inches in length. Bukhenik missed those the day before, and there's a lot of questions like, how did you miss those? And he's like, well, they were there the day before. I just didn't see them. Make that make sense to me. And then we got into the chunk of evidence that took up a pretty decent portion of the day, which were the text messages between Karen Read and Brian Higgins. To put it shortly and briefly, Karen is thirsty and Higgins is shady. They were very flirtatious in nature. At one point, Karen tells Higgins that John saw them on the Ring camera together, but he didn't see the kiss that she gave him because she said that she knew where the cameras were. And the last message that they saw before they broke for lunch probably wasn't the best, and it simply just said, John died, in a message to Higgins. After the lunch break, Bukhenik said that he basically felt that Karen was out for revenge and that she was an angry girlfriend because of John's alleged cheating incident back from New Year's trip. Jackson got Higgins to agree that basically Karen ghosted Higgins between January 23rd and January 29th. Then Bukhenik testified that they didn't try and get a data extraction from Brian Albert's phone for any reason. He also said that he wasn't suspicious of Higgins. They showed some surveillance footage from the Waterfall Bar and Grill where Bukhenik says yes, that Brian Albert and Higgins looked like they were roughhousing, and at some point it looked like Higgins may have been pointing towards John when John was leaving the bar. Then we got to the simple question of the moving tire. The one that they showed multiple times and in slow motion of Karen's car backing up and actually hitting a parked car. That one, and that parked car moving and the tire moving, but Bukhenik saying he can't say with certainty that Karen hit that car. But there's nothing else in the video. You know, I'm gonna let you know right now, you do not need specialized training or anything like that to be able to tell that that's exactly what happened. And this is why people can't trust cops sometimes, because something's so very easy and simple and plain as day, and they still just don't wanna answer it. We then got into some questions about Chloe the dog, who, yes, he interviewed or investigated, but did a pretty shitty job of it like he did everything else. She was rehomed, she was renamed, and he really didn't do much with it. He was asked about interviewing Heather Maxson and Ricky that evening, and did you guys know that that interview happened a year and a half later? It's clear to me that they really weren't trying to solve this mystery, because on the first 48, you know that those first 48 hours are crucial in trying to solve a case, and they clearly just didn't give not one crap about that. Then to finish out the day, Jackson pointed out the longest delay between an event happening and a report being wrote for it was 581 days. 581 days to write the report for the event that happened 581 days prior. How is the jury supposed to look at these reports and think that they are accurate when they take 581 days to write? Then court was concluded for the day and jurors were sent home for the weekend. Bukhenik will continue testifying on Monday morning starting at 10 a.m. So that's it for your day 13 wrap up. I'm sorry that I couldn't go in more detail about these messages. There were a lot read, but it would be impossible for me to wrap them up so clearly here. So thanks for following along. Thanks for being here. And I hope to see you come Monday for day 14. Here's the question of the day. What do you think of Bukhenik's testimony so far? Let me know in the comments.